You're listening to Beast Over Burden, powered by Barbell Logic.
We're Niki and Andrew, your personal professional coaches.
We help you take control of your fitness through hard but doable training and nutrition practices that fit your busy life.
Build a stronger, healthier version of yourself with lifelong habits. Hey everybody, welcome to Beast Over Burden, powered by Barbell Logic. It's going to be a party today. I'm your host, Niki Sims. With me is, as always, Andrew Jackson.
Hello again.
And we have two guests. Welcome to our first episode of the guest series. We have our coach, Chrissy Gilby. Hey, Chrissy.
Hey.
Coming out from, tell everybody where you are.
I'm in the UK, in a little place called Norwich, the east of England. It's lovely.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. I know it's evening time for you, probably dinner time for everybody.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And with us is Chrissy's client, Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm speaking to you from Woodbridge, Connecticut.
Ooh, East Coast.
In the U.S.
Yay. And we are all together. This is special. I love this. One of the cool things I like about Barbell Logic, we're literally all over the world. Yeah.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah. We thought Linda would be a super special guest, and you'll learn about her lifting journey. But I think you are such a great example of something I would call being physically fit no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. Like, Linda, you are in your 70s. You've had scoliosis. Like, that's something that people are born with, right?
Yeah. It's gotten more significant in the last 20 years, the last 10 years especially.
Yeah, I was reading notes that you went from 5'8" to 5'5". Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, all from the scoliosis.
And still, you are in the gym. I went and actually stalked your lifting videos, and you're just in there kicking ass. You're doing some really good stuff. And you've been with Chrissy for about 4 years now. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So what was it like when you decided to make strength training part of your life? What drove you to that decision?
My son.
Who is another coach of ours, Noah.
It was a challenge. He begged me to give it a 3-month try.
Okay.
And then I put him off, actually. I was going to say for months, I think for years. I had gone to gyms myself, but I was never consistent for long periods. I was episodically consistent, but doing my own whatever was in my head thing.
Yep.
And I did try through his intervention years and years ago, maybe 18 years ago or so, having at that time a CrossFit coach in person. But that also didn't really take, because looking back, I think I didn't learn how to take responsibility for myself. Apart from what one thinks about CrossFit, it didn't gel in my head. I didn't feel any progress. And so then fast forward to about 6 years ago or so, it was the year before COVID.
Okay.
And he kept bothering me that I should try Barbell Logic. And then I promised I would do it just before COVID started.
Okay.
So that became something I started to do at the very beginning of COVID, like I think April 1st of that year, because the world was shut down and it seemed a good communication, but it was very difficult and deflating because I was so not able to do anything. I remember trying to do like just a Superman on the floor holding a micro weight, like it was like half a pound, and I couldn't lift my hands. And I said, it's kryptonite.
Wow. And then I just saw you doing Jefferson curls in your workouts, which is, same muscle group. That's neat.
So I think the relationship with the coach and the feedback, and I think that was probably my secret sauce to help me overcome the initial barriers of not being able to do anything. And the tiny, tiny incremental changes. And I confess that I'm one of those people who always wants to make up for lost time by doing everything all at once to make up and then regretting it. It's a lesson that I keep having to learn, but But back in the day before I was with Chrissy and with Barbell Logic, it was more of a continuing habit that it's been helpful to get over because I never saw progress. I saw righteous pain and then I saw regrets, but I never felt the progress that I feel.
That's so different.
So,
What did your gym look like
Oh, yeah,
when
great
you first
question.
started? Where were you working out
Mhm.
during this beginning of COVID
Yeah.
era?
oh, okay. So the first 6 months, it was just in an unused bedroom. And all we had was, I think I had little tiny weights, 2 pounds to 10 pounds. And then we got adjustable dumbbells. And I had a bench and I had a mat. And that's all, because that's all I could possibly do. And then we got a half rack after about 8 months. It became part of the reason in the midst of COVID, we refinished our garage
Nice.
and put the gym in there.
I think that's a really important story for people to hear because understandably, as a company named Barbell Logic, people assume you have to do heavy barbell lifts, but we work with lots of people who start like you with body weight work or very light work in
No barbells.
not even having really a barbell at all. But eventually you progressed to it to now having like a full home gym, it sounds like.
Yes. So in the beginning, I just used the little tiny weights. And I think I had like a broomstick
Mm-hmm.
and just with no weight was trying to do squats and get it in position. I think it was with you, Chrissy, transitioned from when I was beginning to squat to a safety bar,
Mm-hmm.
which it's so much better.
Yeah, it's better for your shoulder, wasn't it, Linda? The issues with the shoulder and the curvature.
Because when I held for my body, when I held just a regular barbell in the right position, it felt torturous, just the position, having nothing to do with the weight, which was very frustrating because I felt like I'm made wrong. I can't do this. And I think investing in a modified equipment that suited my anatomy made it possible for me to feel like I wasn't wrong.
And you could access all the strength that you had in your legs.
Absolutely.
My husband keeps telling me that my legs are so different now. And now they are strong. They were always long, but they were not muscular. They just were like toothpicks, and I wasn't that strong. So I can really feel the difference.
When did you start noticing your new leg muscles? And when did your husband start noticing your leg muscles?
I would say that first year was just first without the rack and then just getting to know the rack.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 2 years in.
Yeah.
I did certain things myself that helped support my patients going forward. So apart from the app, I do keep a paper journal.
Cool.
And I write down for each week, like each spread is a week. I put my 3 workouts, but I started on the very first day to say week 1. And it's like a counter. I keep going through the notebooks and continuing it. So I know how many years, how many months, how many weeks. And that gives me kind of like courage, like, wow, I've really kept with this.
Yeah.
Hundreds of weeks now.
And so I'm in like year 5,
Wow.
month 7 or something. Track that to say, okay, this is an accomplishment.
It is. Yeah, I think it's easy to forget all the hard work that we do when we're feeling just like in the grind or like when it's repetitive. You have to give yourself some credit for how many years you've been doing something. It's not nothing. It's an active choice. Yeah. I like that you do that. That's cool.
So, Chrissy, from your perspective, can you share what it's like to witness and be part of Linda's transformation, especially given the dedication and unique challenges with both the scoliosis and kyphosis?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely amazing to witness the transformation. I mean, you'd already done quite a lot, Linda, when we started working together, and you're confident, just watching your confidence grow. Obviously, now we're tackling other changes in your programming as well, but I know that you're just going to just tackle that head on and just keep moving forwards. But I've just loved to watch. I have to, if anything, kind of, was it that not too long ago, there were a couple workouts you did back to back?
There was this one day that I did give in to my secret way of, my normal way of being. I did 2 in one day.
Oh man, I wouldn't know anything about that.
I'm going to make an on-air confession. So the back extension on the freak athlete that we just got on doing.
Yep.
So I know I wrote down and I recorded, I could do more than 5 times 2 reps.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But actually I did.
I did wonder. Yeah.
I did a whole lot more.
Oh, that's where the hundreds of reps are going to come from, isn't it, Linda?
It's like 3 times 10 or something like that.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I just take that as information as your coach and I will use it. It's fine.
I regretted it. I totally regretted it.
You did.
You regretted it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was stiff for days. And luckily it was, I had a weekend in front of me. Chrissy's cheerfulness and her calmness has really helped me, because the voice inside my head either is beating me up or telling me I really can do 50 reps and that's okay.
Yeah. Just need someone to say it's okay to not push yourself to your absolute limit every single training session.
Right.
Because you have to recover.
She is really calmly, and also by insisting too in what she programs, that sometimes I need to dial back the weight or dial back the reps or change it up a little bit, instead of watching that graph go steadily up and steadily up. And trying, my head understands now that that's not how you should measure things. It has been a setback when I found out recently that my osteopenia turned into osteoporosis. I was sure that Barbell Logic was going to beat the game with that. And that my scoliosis had progressed, because I was sure that I was turning the clock backwards and that I would have to start doing different kinds of exercises. But I think that Chrissy's coaching and her confidence that I can still continue to train and continue to be strong kind of overcame that shock.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of my safety squat bar.
Not yet.
No, because I feel very proud of what I did achieve with it.
Yeah.
What are some of the modifications that you guys have had to make over the years?
The most recent has been this, the diagnosis of the increase in the curvature. So for now, we're steering away from axial loading, which means machines are going to be your area of expertise. And you are fortunate enough that you obviously have the equipment. It's taken us a bit of time to get you. We're still figuring it out, aren't we, week by week?
Yes.
But the reverse hyperpro, looks like, I've had to figure out the best ways to use that with you. But what I love is that we kind of do a lot of that together, and we figure out what's going to work best for you. And already, we're 2 weeks into you having it at home, and it's fantastic. It's going to be a lot of leg extensions and curls and belt squats, and we're going to continue to really keep muscle as best we can around that area of your body and on your spine particularly. And like you say, it doesn't mean you have to hang up the safety squat bar. It can stay, and there may be an opportunity to use it again in the future, but just kind of figuring things out together, I think, is what we do quite well, isn't it, Linda?
Yes, it is. And I really had enjoyed learning how to do deadlifts, because it seemed like so not me in the beginning.
Yeah.
And was very proud that I could lift. That's what seemed like a lot. I think the most I ever lifted, which was actually a while ago, was 180.
Wow.
Which my husband and I would joke that now he could lie down and I could lift him.
I always think that's a good metric, is can you drag your spouse out of a burning building or into? Just kidding.
But now I'm not wanting to do those kind of loadings, so maybe I won't do it, or I won't do it as heavy, but finding, other exercises to do.
Yeah.
actually, in learning how to do the deadlifts, there were a lot of workarounds because of I have really long legs.
Yeah.
I don't squat right. Like my kids, and my children, my grandchildren, they can all just like sit around and squat for hours and do things. And I cannot squat. I will fall over. It's just not.
I did look at some of your squat videos, and yeah, she's a long femur team.
Truly amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A long way down.
But yeah, I remember like I have long femurs too. And I remember when I first started coaching, they'd be like, just squat and stay upright. And be like, I will fall over. Like, I'm going to fall over right now if you make me do that. Yeah. And then you see like those babies just squat in their perfect little squat, play on the floor, and then they just pop up with their cute little legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So one of the modifications you helped me with was, and this was partly psychological and still is, to put the little stool behind me to touch. And it just like made me brave that if I fell over, I wouldn't fall over.
You're just sitting
Just
down.
sit down. Yeah. And so psychologically, I want it there forever
Just something there.
because I'm not going to use it, but it makes me not afraid. And maybe that's an age thing, or maybe it's because I never was a big athlete. No, I don't want to be one of these people that is a statistic of she was in the gym and she had osteoporosis and she had bad balance and she hurt herself. I just want to be smart about everything.
Right.
At the same time, I don't want to be timid.
Yeah.
And so those other kind of workarounds that Chrissy helped me with, they count for a lot
They do.
when it gives, I think, women of my age the courage to go into the gym.
Yeah. Confidence is a huge aspect.
And you're using dumbbells. Yeah, I see you have like beautiful form. And we've talked about the principles before, like you're doing work that is still challenging. And that's what matters. Even if it's not with a barbell right now, your body it can't tell. It just knows that it's being challenged. And I can tell you really appreciate that kind of challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also at first I felt like I was, getting stronger and stronger and the graph was going up and up. And, I'd always do this comparison at the end of recording things like how many tons had I moved that day and that kind of thing. And even though that's encouraging, it's also, I think, for someone in my age group to get away from that and to say, okay, I'm 71. So in truth, the fantasy of every time I work out, I don't get younger. At a certain point, the way muscles are, they might not keep getting bigger.
Yeah. There's a limit for everybody.
And so it's how to maintain a level of strength and flexibility.
Yeah.
And what are the measurements that keep you going incrementally? It might not be the graph.
What does keep you motivated? You mentioned not, reversing the clock of osteopenia and osteoporosis, but maybe slowing it. What else makes you get to the gym?
Well, I did spend up until this recent psychological crisis, I did spend a lot of time thinking for every month I worked out, I got a month younger. And then I was like, working my way back. But it turned out not to be true.
That's some big motivation. I like how fired up you were about that power.
So I feel great that I can sit on the floor.
Yeah.
Pick up and hold my 5-month-old granddaughter and just stand up without having to lean on things and pick up the 2-year-old toddler in my other arm and go up the stairs.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty badass.
Take one at a time, but
I have a 1-year-old and that is underrated, that skill.
the skill of picking up a 1 or a 2-year-old who are
moving.
So wiggly.
Yes. So it's a really dynamic exercise to carry them. It's not just the weight.
Yes.
So, and to not have to be one of the grandparents that says, I can't, just to be able to do. And that's a big motivation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a huge thing. Yeah.
It's really huge. And so I find myself always having to say to people, no, I'll do it. No, I'll take the groceries in. I'll carry the box. I'll take it down to the basement. Because yes, it's very polite for you to ask me, but if I don't keep using my muscles all the time, they will start as a natural part of aging to waste. And I want to be able to run up the stairs with the kids.
Yeah. It seems like we don't have that concept in our minds until maybe something bad happens or it's at a certain age.
Until it's too late.
What was that like for you?
Really?
Until it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it the osteopenia diagnosis or?
Well, I thought I was reversing osteopenia.
Yeah.
But I have to say that at the point when Noah challenged me to try Barbell Logic, let me think. None of our children were married,
Okay.
and there were no grandchildren on the horizon, as far as I could tell. And good thing that there was no one right there, because even though I'd always worked with people, and especially with children, I could not have done the things that I do now at the time.
That's cool.
And I really was out of shape.
That is reversing the clock, in my opinion.
And I did.
Yeah.
And I now have 7 grandchildren.
Hey, wow, they did a good job.
I really tried to be the one that, of all the grandparents and step grandparents and, pseudo grandparents, to be the one that never says, oh, I can't do that.
You're a little competitive, aren't you?
I am the least competitive person in the world, except for with myself.
With yourself. Yeah.
Mhm. That's a lot of pressure on yourself.
Well, I think the great thing about Barbell Logic was, and all those years going to the gym ineffectually, I was being competitive with myself and then not getting anywhere with it. And to have a coach who says, okay, and the next increment is going to be 2 more reps.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
Not another 10 pounds and 5 reps or another 2 sets, or just because you feel you can do it in this moment. I think that helped me start to see real gain. There were years, like when I was in my 30s, 40s, I truly believed that I did not have a good workout at the gym unless I woke up the next day sore.
Yeah.
If I was sore, it was good. If I wasn't sore, I hadn't done enough. And it really is hard to change that mindset. And I need Chrissy to reinforce that change.
Sure. Because then it takes you out of commission.
And I'm happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Chrissy, has there been a particularly rewarding moment for you as a coach?
My God. I mean, I remember, Linda, looking at your squat, and we were debating the depth with the box. And I was sort of saying, you don't have to go. Obviously, depth is important. We want to make sure we're getting that range of motion, but you were absolutely adamant that you wanted to use the smaller one. And I was like, these are the potential negative outcomes if we go too low in the squat. And we had a lot of discussions about that, but we kind of found a sweet spot in the middle and you stuck with it. And I think seeing you add pounds to that over time was really rewarding for me. And just to see you again, just tackle it and not be afraid of it. And I've coached quite a few people now, and your ability, Linda, to grind through a rep is truly outstanding. And I don't think she just keeps going. So yeah, that was very cool.
Is there anything that you learned working with Linda that's influenced how you coach others?
Oh my God. Yeah. I think in terms of modifications and just the amount of work that we can do when the barbell maybe isn't accessible or appropriate. That's definitely, I've learned an awful lot about that with you. And you've got your TRX machine, you've got your dumbbell, like all of the accessory work that you do and the value that has. And then when you've traveled, like that sort of thing, like the value that's had, you've kept moving. Yeah, I think modifying things that work for your body, I've learned an awful lot about that. And that's helped me, particularly with shoulders and back and muscle. Putting muscle on the back has been a huge learning curve for me as a coach as well, definitely.
I've really appreciated all those things. And also, you mentioned the traveling. So sometimes we travel and we have access to a great gym, but mostly we don't have great access. And so you've been really creative and forgiving, as it were, about just
make it work.
making something that is useful.
Yeah.
And because it's so, so easy, even after all this time, to say, okay, I'm gone. Or the week before I go, I'm really busy. And the week after I get back, I'm really busy. And then I'm going for a week. And then it's a month. And
God, you're so right about that.
Definitely.
You could really let that trickle in if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it seems like Chrissy has your next like 5 steps planned out and she sees where you're going. Even if you think that you need to do 400 more reps to get there, Chrissy's like, nope, I got you. Like, this is where we're going. And she's able to get you there. It's really neat.
It's really helpful. And it's helpful when it's planned out and it's in the calendar. Because sometimes, especially, life gets crazy, travel and just regular life. Even though I'm Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes, I don't even announce this. It just like somehow shifts into a week of Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it gives me that flexibility. So I don't do something silly too often, like
3x10 back extensions.
I thought you were about to confess that you'd been adding in like 1 or 2 more workouts a week there, Linda. I was getting scared.
he's tried to lure me.
No. Is there any piece of advice you would give to someone who maybe was thinking like you said earlier you didn't think your body was right for certain movements, or you felt like you could never find anything that worked for you?
Well, I think about just women of my age and with similar or related challenges, and especially the idea of not having always been athletic. Even though I always went to the gym, I just never was athletic. Having the sort of the confidential consultant of a coach.
That's cute.
And that kind of intimacy is really nice. I've just been lucky in that we could make a gym in our garage, because it's very hard to do this in the public gym.
Yeah.
Because there's such a culture of, everyone throwing weights around and everyone just,
Yeah.
there's testosterone for everybody
in
in the
the
gym. And if you go to a gym where there's just mainly women, there's just a lot of also, flaunting and I don't know, so much estrogen in the air. There's too much of something. And it's almost better to start modestly and feel confident picking up a dumbbell and doing it in private, being tempted by the silliness around you, and also not feeling embarrassed by how you look. I have to say, Niki, when you said that you went back and you looked at my old videos, my inner thought was, oh, horrors, because
No, you look amazing.
after I send them to Chrissy, I delete them. And I never look at them.
Oh my gosh.
except when I look at, your feedback, because
You have to rewatch them.
I'm so horrified about my own form. It's also like, I realize I'm better, but I'm not the 25-year-old in my head, and I'm not the Olympic champion. And so I don't want to focus on those imperfections. I just want to know that I did it. I did it well. You and I spoke about it. We looked at the videos, clips together out of sync. And then I don't want to go back and look at my scoliosis on screen. I just want to.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think that might resonate with a lot of people. I've even felt that myself, where I have this perception in my head where I'm just this like Wonder Woman goddess, and then I see some angle in my lifting video and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I left the house. Like, please stop me next time. It's like alarming.
And you're an athlete and a coach, and you're much younger than I am. And yeah, I think that
we're so hard on
we're
ourselves.
very hard on ourselves.
Linda, if you could go back before you started training and tell yourself something to help you get over any fear or concerns about getting started, is there something that you would say to yourself?
Well, no, I was going to say something funny about like, don't record any triceps works in sleeveless shirts.
Totally disagree about that, Linda.
Oh, now I'm okay, but not in the.
Oh, now it's fine. Got triceps now.
Mine would be if your coach ever asked for a video of you squatting from behind. I hate when I have to do that for a coach. Like, that is the worst. I never want to see that of myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the real. That was a hilarious answer. That was a good one. What else? What else would you tell earlier, Linda?
It didn't help to always, get on the scale and look at the graph and all that. And also don't try to secretly beat things. In other words, don't do your coach's workout and then secretly improve on it by doing 20 other exercises. And
trust the process. Is this illuminating for you, Chrissy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I can relate to this on a personal level as well. Yeah.
And I'm just going to get so much better and it'll magically happen.
Yeah. It's hard.
Trust your coach, trust the programming.
Yeah. And don't try to outwit it. Yeah. I do know someone who is always trying to outwit the coach. Like the coach does whatever, says to do whatever, and then they do whatever plus and live to regret it. Because then it gets discouraging when you have setbacks and a certain kind of both confidence and humility, so that I do the little incremental changes in the routine and don't beat myself up and worry more about trying to have really good form, whatever that is for me.
Yeah.
Because it will never look as good as the instructional videos. The bar is too high. And I'm totally not related to those people.
Yeah. Different bodies, different journeys. You have what I really love about this is you have made this your very own. This is your own story.
Definitely.
This is you with your wonderful skeleton, with your wonderful body being strong in a way that's perfect for you. And you could have missed that and you were able to find it. And now you do really cool stuff in your home gym. Who would have thought that you would ever have your own home gym? It's such a special space that you've made for yourself.
Yes.
I swear, if I couldn't have this great home gym in the garage, I would rather settle for like bands and TRX and dumbbells and a good coaching routine than subjecting myself to the sort of bad thoughts in the air in the competitive atmosphere of the public gym, especially if you're 50 or over.
That's really interesting. Yeah, not very welcoming.
There's what people are wearing and comparing, where they are on the weight stack, and I don't know. And it should just be about what feels right for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, an important addition to our gym. We put up a big mirror.
You did? Ooh. What's that done for you?
So there's a big mirror, like if you stand in front of the rack and you look at the wall, there is a mirror there. And it does help with form. It also helps. Sometimes I catch my own eye when I feel like I can't do this. Just give myself a little encouragement. But if I was in a public gym and all those mirrors and people, no way. Yeah. I would back down.
Cool.
Well, I bet a lot of people are listening to you, and if they knew more about you, would be like, that's very impressive, and impressed and inspired by you.
I am, as a coach, definitely.
I am.
Yeah.
I need your coaching and don't go anywhere.
Oh, no, I have no intentions.
We have, ready access, and it's okay that it's, out of sync because it's still available. And my husband always jokes that we know the cause of COVID. It was Zoom. Because the Zoom company created it.
That's a good year for Zoom. Yep.
We can be out of sync, but it feels like your little corner of England is near us.
Yeah, it does. It does. I love that.
I will say and this is just me personally, sometimes those last like 1 or 2 reps when I think I can't do it, then I'm not the kind of person that is then motivated to do that last little bit by somebody going, you can do it, you can do it. It's that I think of something really terrifying and fear. That's my
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm like, could I get away or whatever? I just like, I need these muscles.
Oh, wow.
Because
Yeah.
you can do it is when you can do it. It's only when you can't do it
Yeah.
that it matters. And you need to that it matters.
Oh, that's super interesting.
I like that.
I like that too. You do need to do it. Yeah. Man, I'm going to remember that next time. I'm definitely going to have that voice in my head.
So your own little personal horror,
It's not you can do it, you need to do it.
Yeah, it's not about when you can do it because you can already do it. It's when you need to do it.
Yeah.
Damn, Linda.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Isn't it interesting, these long conversations that we somehow have enough time to have during like a single rep?
Mm-hmm. That's how slow Linda's reps are sometimes. That's those grinds. Yeah.
Oh.
Like a whole chat's going on there. They're amazing. Amazing.
That's amazing.
I have learned that I do really feel better after I work out. I don't mean I feel better in general, but like if I'm in a really bad mood and I make myself work out. And so sometimes actually having the mirror helps because I'll get out to the gym and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I stand there and I kind of have this conversation with myself, like, I don't feel like starting. And so what I do is I say, okay, I don't have to do the workout. I just have to do this one first set.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do the rest of the workout.
Yes.
I'll excuse myself.
Yep.
And then I do the first set.
That works.
Okay, I'll just do the second set. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah. One step at a time.
And then by the time I have finished saying myself for each of those sets for that first exercise, which is always the most important, then I'm like, I can do the rest. But it's that, do I even want to start this? I can't do this. Okay, I'll just do 1 rep. And then then you're free, Linda.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you've bargained your way through your workout. That's cool.
Perfect.
Chrissy, is there anything you wanted to share before we sign off?
Just how inspired I am by your approach to your training, Linda. And even now, as we're tackling new things, like I think your work ethic is truly amazing. And I feel very, very fortunate to work with you. And we're just going to keep you strong. That's the priority now.
Thank you for always being in my corner. And when I have tried to tell other women my age that I'm friends with, and I have for like the past 5 years tried to tell them, oh, you should do this, you should try this.
Keep telling them.
And
yeah,
the fear factor, it's just surprises me.
It's huge.
Even people who do things like play tennis or whatever. One of the excuses is, oh, well, I'm going to go to the local gym where I have a personal coach and they stand there. And I would say 99% of the time, it's someone who stands there and says, here's another interesting exercise to do today that you're never going to remember. Give me one more, give me one more. And they say, well, why would you want someone, online when you could have someone who stands there who says, oh, give me one more. And they don't understand that it's
very different.
It's very different.
It's made you take more responsibility, which you said earlier you hadn't learned how to do with CrossFit when you were there with someone. Now you are the one taking responsibility during every workout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
And yet I don't feel like I'm ever alone. I can't cheat because Chrissy would know.
I will know. I will know, and I will have hunches.
It's a superpower we all have.
Coaches know. We do.
This was really cool. I remember when I was doing a lot of powerlifting and people would ask who I looked up to. I never had an athlete who I really looked up to and admired because, they were so much stronger than me or like their body types were different. It was hard to find a person, but I could always get behind someone's work ethic. And I was always impressed by like, man, they just show up and they work so hard and they're learning. And, you were talking about comparison. And when you put, how someone looks aside, and you really start to appreciate how hard they work, which clearly you do, like that is inspirational. So you are up there as like someone to be admired for what you do. And I know because you've been talking about it, but also Chrissy has been seeing it for years and years and years.
Especially
so
when
very
you don't
admirable.
get the dopamine hit of seeing the graph going up and to the right all the time. It takes
the
an
practice.
even more discipline and work ethic to keep showing up and knowing that you need to do it, not just because you can, but because you need to. You got to figure out how to make a shirt out of that.
That's so good.
It's been humbling. And I had goals along the way. And life is humbling, so those have changed. So I think when I was like 68 and a half, I remember I squatted 110. And I remember saying I wanted to squat like, I don't know, it was some number, 125 by my 70th birthday. And I was going to deadlift 200 and things happened. And I had to humbly kind of realize, no, that is the wrong metric, the numbers game.
But we set different goals, didn't we, Linda? And we made sure they were appropriate, whether they were rep PRs or just different kind of movements, that you had a continued measure of your progress.
Yeah.
They're still hugely relevant. Like, they're still important.
Man, thanks for teaching us some lessons today.
And thank you all for being out there for me. Thank you, Chrissy, for everything.
You are so welcome. So welcome.
So glad.
And Andrew and Niki. And I have thanked my son many times.
I was going to say, should we thank Noah?
Yeah, he looks out for you massively. So sweet.
Well, if any of you listeners are curious about what it would look like to work with Chrissy or one of our other coaches, maybe even Noah, you can go to our website and go to barbelllogic.com/experience and schedule a call with one of us. And we can really work with anybody who wants to learn how to lift and be strong.
I am proof of the anybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. This is amazing.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.